Fallout 4. I know this is coming in really late, and I'm sorry, but I've been going through upgrades, and this recording alone took like 3 different softwares to go through. It'll be much easier next time, so hopefully my next review comes out much quicker. But anyways, Fallout 4. Bethesda's latest in a grand adventure through the wastelands, and I gotta say, it lives up to the hype. It exceptionally lives up. We got there are new weapon upgrades, there are new companions, everyone's got their own story, and Codsworth says your fucking name. Yes, this is a new rule. Every single Bethesda game from now on must have at least one companion that says your name. Must be. I do not care what it is. That's got to be a demand from now on. Second off, it's the graphics have not improved. Let me get what's negative out of the way first, because I'm going to rant on what's the most wonderful parts of the game later. The negative parts of the game, unfortunately, there are lots. Unfortunately, it is not as well done as I thought, and it feels there are many parts of the game that feel the guys at Bethesda are like, we got to get this out. We're not going to do a lot of work on it. We're just going to push it out the door. Here you go, world. The settlement area, minimal tutorial on it. And I'm usually the guy who's like, okay, I'll figure this out for myself. I don't usually need the tutorial. It takes like 10 minutes to figure out most of it. But in this one, holy fucking shit. Supply routes are an ability that you can now trade with all your other settlements. I didn't know about this till like the end of like building my settlements, when it was kind of worthless, and it's really hard to assign NPCs or get them to do anything because you're never sure, because the game never explains any of the shit to you. And unfortunately, adhesive, which is like the most important material for crafting anything in game, is so fucking rare that you don't even bother going for the smaller upgrades to satisfy your need. You just hold on to a shit ton of it. Work with just picking up the nice weapons that you find lying around, and just fully upgrade those when you feel like it. And what's worse is that the caps, the money amount for Fallout 4, you have to opt yourself to be broke as shit, or put like 20 perks into just getting money, because the money is so fucking hard to find. And the dialogue has just died from the last game. Earlier Bethesda games, I remember, like, you got this whole, it was laid out what the fuck you were going to say, and it mattered what you were saying. You could get kicked out of a conversation, or you could be bitch slapped. Now it's be nice, be rude, be sarcastic, inquire, and like unless it's like a persuasion or a intimidate option, it doesn't matter what the fuck you say. They will literally respond exactly the same regardless. Except like a few cases, a few are different. Yeah, but I'm getting ahead of myself now. So I think I'm done ranting for a little while. So let me get off to what the game did right, and there is so much of it. Well, as I've said before, the graphics haven't much improved, but you are a new Vault Dweller. This is pretty new, though it's not much of a secret now. You are one of the original Vault Dwellers, and you get cryogenically frozen for a few years. And I'm probably skipping ahead of where my video is. But you get this really amazing, what's the word? I think experience will be accurate enough, because you get to enjoy life before the bombs fell, and you meet your cool nanny Codsworth, you get to meet your wife, and you go through this like face morphing Bethesda creation system. And I'm still waiting for the point where, like, they just slap an image on, because that's not that hard to do nowadays, when you can take a 3D image of your face and add it into systems. And I'm really hoping that the next Bethesda game will have this, even though they probably won't, and I'm wasting my time talking about it. But you know what, Bethesda? Get it. Get it. It'll make the game even better. But enough of me talking about the negatives. You're a new Vault Dweller, and you start off in the main quest line, and instantly after being frozen, or 200 years, you're not really sure because, well, you know, it's cryogenically frozen, so there's like 10 seconds in between each unfreeze. Your wife and your unborn child, well, the wife gets shot, and your unborn child gets kidnapped, and off we go on this amazing adventure to find our child and avenge our wife. And I like this campaign because, like, unlike Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, it gives me some level of compulsion to actually be interested in doing it because it's arcade. You can like kind of see the point there, but unfortunately, after you get to about Diamond City, or in my case, about in the first 10 minutes, you instantly look at something and it's like, oh, what's over there? Oh, and like you build your settlement, and like 3 years later, like, oh shit, I forgot to get my son. Oh well, he's probably fine by now. And you get to go through this amazing game in open world. It is definitely one of the top 10 games of 2015. It is such a massive world. It's probably even bigger than Skyrim. Definitely not bigger than The Witcher 3. Nothing is bigger than that game. Up to date. And not only that, you get updated creatures. You get the synths, these robotic, like, wait for the image to pop up, you'll probably notice them, these robotic guys who disguise themselves as humans, wear black suits, and like have, wait a minute, isn't that the plot from like The Matrix or Terminator? Holy shit, Bethesda just copyrighted this shit off of somebody else. This is new. So anyways, Matrix, Terminator, rip-offs right off the bat, ignoring those, because we'll probably get like copyrighted or censored for saying such things to the all-god of Bethesda. Those new mobs, you are fighting against a company known as the well, not a company, an organization of the Institute. And the Institute is this, it's Skynet. I want to say this better, but it's fucking Skynet. There's no nicer way of saying it. It's a group of scientists who decided to who've pretty much gone like the company line of, we want to do whatever the fuck we choose. They went and made like synthetic gorillas, and I'm like, why? Why? Hey. And you gave me the Brotherhood of Steel. I haven't personally played a lot of the previous Fallout games because I felt the enemies were often overpowered. Like, I played Fallout 3, and part of the reason I stopped playing Fallout 3 is because it got ridiculous. My hunting rifle was one of my most common weapons, and it took like 5 clips to kill a single fucking super mutant. And if 8 of them showed up, I'm like, oh, fuck this shit, I'm leaving. And it's just like, oh my god. But in this game, it's finally fixed. And it's fixed so you can actually go in and explore without the panic of constantly being killed. And speaking of being killed, I'm going to say this now. If you have not played this game before, you're going to die in the first 10 minutes of the game. Guarantee you if you just follow the main quest. Because guess who's at the beginning? A fucking Deathclaw. I will admit, you get power armor. But holy shit, you fought a fucking Deathclaw is one of the first, arguably the third mob you will meet that's radioactive. And I'm like, holy shit, these are the hardest creatures in Fallout 3. I'm completely fucked. I don't care if I have this power armor, it's probably shit. And I died like, 3 times? One time, I overused my machine gun, got myself killed. Second time, it just killed me instantly. Third, I decided to snipe it, and then I followed it down an alley, and, well, you can imagine how that went. And it like, you have to do this you have to, like, you realize how common the Deathclaws are now. And unfortunately, part of the zeal for me on Fallout 3 is that regardless of how powerful you were, the Deathclaws are still, like, you do not want to fuck with them because they will fucking kill you. But now that type of idea is gone. Like, a big boy can just exterminate them. And it's a little unfortunate because I was kind of hoping to see that, like, you know, feared creature that you have to worry about. Now, like, now I can fight them without even power armor on, in hand-to-hand combat, and I don't have to worry because I've got like 100 stim packs, and the Deathclaw isn't going to win. And like, if I'm in my power armor, then I don't even give a shit. I can like walk by and let it tear me up while I walk to my destination. I don't want to even get hurt, and it's a little pathetic. But however, the nice thing is there have some additions to combat. Like, so I'm not sure if this has made your character overpowered or if they've simply done half-half. But weapon customizations, yes, we've all wanted this. And now you can customize your weapons, which I found to be good. But I found in certain places it was really just get to the bottom of the list. There wasn't a lot of like. I thought we would have to go like, you know, for guns like short range or long range and adjust the stats, but it was never overly clear on how it was being affected, and ultimately it really just felt like just put everything to the bottom of the list, and that instantly makes it perfect, and you don't ever have to worry about it again, because it just never made it didn't feel better being on any other like special short range gun. Because in shooting from the hip, you just never felt accurate, regardless of what gun you're using. Like, the only gun you could ever even use that with was a fucking machine gun. And that one doesn't even have, like, a hip versus a target shooting ability. It just has sights, a shredder, and special type of muzzles. And ultimately, it feels like they did do it, and I enjoyed it. And I love some of the customizations for some of the weapons, but many of the times, some of them felt unnecessary, or there was one upgrade for one of the melee weapons that was literally just a heavier version for that melee weapon that had no difference whatsoever, and it was just a waste to me. And I feel like they could have done a lot better than that they did, though I am liking how the grenades have changed, and how now you can actually go up and you can fight these big mobs, and you can fight these big armies. But I'm getting ahead of myself, probably. I'm just rattling off on combat, and I should be talking about my new favorite feature, the companions. Oh my god, there's like 13 companions from robot detectives who are trying to retain their humanity, and that's the plot for RoboCop. Holy shit, they really ripped off a lot of people in this one. To the pushy, nosy reporter, to the like wounded warrior, to the screwed up junkie. There are so many companions, and you can romance about 9 of them, 9 out of the 13. So I'd say a good amount. And for once, like, romancing in a game doesn't feel corny or stupid or like you want to just stick your head in a keyboard and wait till you get to the sex scene. It actually feels generally good and enjoyable to go through these, and it feels like you're watching a nice little sitcom. And there are definitely better companions than some of the others. Nick Valentine, the robot detective, and Piper are definitely some of the better ones, and some of the others you have to overly equip. And I say equip because the problem with mostly every single companion, is that they have this default weapon that they will spontaneously switch to, and some you can't even edit at all, and it's a little unfair at times, it feels. Though I am grateful to say they have fixed some of my bigger annoyances, which I've already mentioned. So I guess I'm probably complaining a bit more than I should, because it is just, I do love the settlement building. It is a wonderful addition. I am a Minecraft player, so I've probably put half of my hours, which has been well over 100, maybe 200 now, I haven't even checked, into just building my settlements up and giving them defenses and keeping them well nourished. But part of the problem with the settlements, though, is, I have to say this, when they get attacked, they will ultimately lose unless you spawn in. And I have spawned in and just like decided, shoot it, screw it, I'm just gonna watch. And my settlement has won. I'm like, why the fuck do I need to be here then? Is it just like my presence instantly grants a victory? Does like half the army run away? Because there have been like death claws that have attacked my base, and I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense why you need me, but against a couple of bandits or super mutants? Nah, there's like, what, 20 of you, and I've given you laser weapons, amazing gear, and they complain and complain, and it's... Sometimes the settlements feel... Well, no, they were definitely tacked on. You can tell through every inch of the gameplay. It's not a main feature. It was something that they wanted to do on the side, or maybe it was supposed to be DLC, but it wasn't a main feature. Two of Fallout's big problems now is that all the scrap, like duct tape and stuff you require to play the game, are now valuable items for the junk jets, and that becomes a big nuisance because you can't use it anymore. Though I am glad to say they have finally fixed the gunplay. And of course, it's a Bethesda game, so we have some bugs, and holy shit. I'm not sure about you guys, but this one seems much more buggy. I've had, I think, 2 crashes on my, like, Master Race PC. And, like, so many bugs. I've seen, like, raiders floating into the air, and I believe, like, Codsworth has, like, flown through walls. I'm just like, the fuck? I fell out of the world once. How the fuck do I fall out of the world? And, of course, speaking of companions, the AI for them is still shit. Like, I have, like, died 3 times alone from Codsworth running into a trap or setting off an alarm or doing some stupid shit that got me fucking killed. And, unfortunately, it's just so annoying. There are definitely some things that need to be fixed on Fallout 4. First off, Bethesda, enough with the ugly character models. Every single character I've seen in a Bethesda game, like all your pre-made, all the characters who go and make themselves, like, you know, all the people who make their own characters, they all look like shit. I'm not trying to sound rude. They all look like shit. I am sorry, but they do. Like the caps, there's too few caps, and like the crafting system, it's a fun... I loved using the crafting system. It was awesome, especially for the power armor with the jetpacks and the stealth boys. But it just didn't feel like there was enough variation to make much of a difference a lot of the times. A lot of the times it would just go to the bottom of the list, click A. And I opted, and on my second attempt, I opted for a full melee class, and like, I barely needed anything. Like, my weight went down, so I just carried a bunch of meds and, like, just junk for my body, a bunch of drugs, and I blew through the main campaign like it wasn't even there, and it was just, like, it's overpowered to a point. And it's slightly annoying to me how, like, well, then why is it, like, every single melee person I fight is so fucking useless? Like, I fought a super mutant with a sledgehammer with a shank, and I won! I didn't even need to give myself a stim pack to beat that idiot. And, oh, the perks. The perk tree has backtracked from its usual level up each perk individually. It's now a put perks into whichever section you want in your specials little area. And unfortunately, if you do what I did on my first attempt, because I did look at a few videos beforehand, and you put like everything into charisma and intelligence for the most part, the game just kind of lacks for action because you can talk your way out of just about every scenario and get a shit ton of money, and you don't even have to do anything for it. You can just like waltz on by. And as for intelligence, like you'll need at least. I'm saying this now. If you have not bought the game yet, for your intelligence, just put 6. You don't need any more intelligence than that, but you need at least 6 intelligence to play this game, or you're fucked. That's the nicest way I can say it. You will be fucked royally if you do not have 6 intelligence, because if you do what I did and you go into full-on crafting, you want to be like an engineering survivor where you engineer your own gear, which I did. It becomes so. I think I'm like level 50 now on my main profile, and at least 30 or more of those perks are put solely into getting myself better gear. And like that's not fun. I don't want to like spend half my perks, like over half my perks, into just having the stuff I would want or need. That's not fun. Like what the fuck, Bethesda? What happened to like the amazing dialogues and like, though I do give you guys this credit. This credit is well overdue. Fallout now actually looks nice. It doesn't look like a shithole where like Jesus went and shit himself and then left his pants there because like Fallout 3 in the capital, it didn't look overly good because that's where it was so much closer to a nuclear warhead, and it was so drab and dry, but now it's colorful, it's enjoyable. We've got like the factions now, we've got the railroad trying to save the synths, we've got the Institute, who is like the major company corporation who are doing whatever the fuck they want. We got the Brotherhood, who kind of remind me of American politicians, and then we've got the Minutemen, who are running around trying to help as many people as they can, kind of unsuccessfully because you get a flare gun halfway through the game, not even halfway through, and if you use it at all, it's practically bloody fucking worthless because it's used to summon Minutemen, and you can never seem to find any. So, I will say, though the game is still, like, I haven't seen any of the DLC that they're hoping of coming out with later. I haven't seen everything in game. I have gone through a lot of the major side questing, and that is part of the reason this is so laid out, because there's just so much to do. And I've probably been over-ranting on how much problems the game has, but in all honesty, the game itself is so captivating, and there's just so much to do and so much to look at. You don't really think of these things at all. You don't care. I didn't think of anything I'm talking about now while I was playing the game. While I was playing the game, it was just fun. It was just shits and giggles. I was enjoying myself. I was in heaven. I probably sidetracked so much that I probably spent a week's worth of just doing squat for the main quest. And I am sorry for that, because that is the main reason this review hasn't come out earlier. But I think I need to say this. The final verdict for this game is a 8 out of 10. Flat down, amazing game, and I give it my bunker seal of approval. If you do not know what that is, that means if Fallout does happen in real life, bring this game into like the Fallout vault with you, because it has so many hours and it is so worth playing that it just gives you so much rerun. I could probably put 300 hours into this game and not even be done yet. Not even like halfway done. Maybe half. And the game just has so much more potential, and I would love to see that realized in maybe the next Elder Scrolls game, or the next Fallout, or hell, even the next Dishonored game, which I am so looking forward to coming out. And guys, I want to thank you for watching and listening to this. I'll see you all next time. If you do want to see more of these big game reviews, please like and subscribe below, leave comments, and I'll see you next time on my channel. Bye!